go ahead and call this meeting to order. Alrighty, we'll begin with the pledge. Mr. Chapman, you want to lead us?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, I love the blue. I just noticed.
Please take any delegation. Alrighty, we will move on to reports and start with end of the year staff celebration. Dr. Manning.
I just wanted to give a brief report about our end of the year staff celebration with the public. The teachers, we recognize teachers for different things, everything from attendance to teacher of the year. We recognized our donors, our board members. I thought that it was very well received by the public. It got a lot of positive comments in and outside the county about honoring those folks. I want to say thank you to all the sponsors that sponsored us and the team that helped us put it together. And, at least
It was very nice.
everybody did a very good job. It was
Yeah.
very nice, and it was good for our retirees. We recognized them, and I just thought that it was something that we should share at a meeting as a highlight.
Yeah, I thought it was very nice and think it's something we should do every year.
Alrighty, next report, we'll move on to Miss Sherry West and the summer school update.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have a schedule, calendar, and some information to share about our guests coming from Italy. So if everyone will take one of those, and then the same with this. There may be some extra. So summer programming has started in Gilmer County last week. Our kindergarten staff was in with our preschoolers moving into kindergarten. They hosted Kinder Boost for 3 days. A part of the 3 days, on Wednesday, which was day one, they had a family engagement, parent training, and then on Friday, they had a literacy event to conclude the Kinder Boost camp. And that's a great program that Save the Children has helped us to develop. The kindergarten teachers say that it's a wonderful program in that it gives them an opportunity to see their students in their classroom space as they process over the summer, and then it just starts the year off on the right foot. So it's a very positive Kinder Boost camp program. Then we are currently into Summer Boost. The staff went to Charleston for 3 days last week and had training, and then Miss Heidi Lindsay is our secretary, so she was with me today and we worked in the office. And then staff has been in and out. We'll all be there in the morning with Mr. Frazier for training for the program, the meal program that we offer. And then staff will finish up any last minute things they have in their classrooms. If you'll take a moment and look at the schedule with me, there are some times throughout the day that you would be welcome to join us at Campfire. So let's say you just want to start your day off with some excitement and high energy kiddos. We have breakfast at 8, and then at 8:20 we gather at Campfire. We have our opening assembly. Our theme this year is the Olympics. So we'll be learning about the music. I'm hoping Dr. Barb will come join us and educate us on the anthem of the Olympics. And so we'll have an opening each morning. You're welcome to pop in and speak to the whole group. That would be just about 10 minutes right there if you want to say hi to the kiddos. Then we go through academic rotations, math talks with Becky Chesser, math games. This is where they learn basic fact fluency with Jacob Persinger. Reading games, or GURP, that's the Guided Independent Reading Practice with Crystal Smith. Read Aloud with Amber Fox, where they're going to learn to love reading. They're going to fall in love with it. And then The Joy of Moving with Tina Foster. So those 2.5 hours go very quick. We keep them moving, keep them moving. And then we gather in the cafeteria with teams. Their teams this year will represent countries from the different continents. So, and this is based on the number of gold medals those countries have won at the Summer Olympics in the past. So we will have Kenya, we will have Cuba, we will have Italy, we will have Australia, and, oh dear, I'm forgetting one.
I was Kenya, so.
Kenya, Cuba, Italy, Australia, I'll have to think about it. Anyway, Japan, Asia, that's the continent I'm missing. Okay, Japan. So those are our 5 countries, and the kids will be in a team, and that'll kind of be the focus, is to learn about that country. And then we do a lot of team building activities, leadership opportunities in that time. So they'll eat with their team, then they'll do team building with their team. Then we move into a half hour of half of our kiddos, K1, 2, will do maybe community service, while our 3rd through 5th graders are having a nutrition lesson. They do that for 3 weeks, and then we flip it. And then there's 40 minutes of STEM. Again, K1, 2 will be a group, 3, 4, 5 will be a group. So some will do STEM, some will do enrichment for 3 weeks, and then they flip and do the other. So campfire is at 8:20. We gather after lunch at campfire, and then we will gather after team building. So those are 3 times during the day. You are welcome to pop in and see what's happening. On the calendar, if you want to flip over to that, I do want to note just a few special highlights you might want to circle. Of course, day 1 for elementary and middle school, high school. They are offering a program up there this summer as well. The kiddos will come Wednesday. We have 3 buses, and we are running the main routes. We have a Sand Fork area bus. We have a Normantown into Glenville. And then we have one that starts out Route 33, goes around towards Troy, into Tanner, and then back into Glenville. So if you'll notice there, next week, possibly 21 or 22, we may have a VIP visit from national level Save the Children person. I'm waiting for that to be confirmed, and then once we know that, we definitely want to see Mr. Fox leading the running club at that time. So he's on hold right now. We had a student that was in our running club last summer, and she has begged for a year. She found it to be a very healthy activity for her, and she really wants to do the running club again. So Mr. Fox has agreed, and he's going to come and run with the kiddos. So hopefully we'll start that up the day that we possibly have this special visitor from the national headquarters of Save the Children. And then you can see Kids Fresh Market. That's the Mountaineer Food Bank. They will be coming and offering that. Another big day happening this summer, and this is for the entire community. This is for everyone in Gilmer County to be a part of, and that is on July the 11th. I gave you a packet from Kinder Joy. Kinder is the candy for Ferrero candy company in Italy. They designed a curriculum called The Joy of Moving. We implemented it last year in that 30 minutes of activity time. They've done a deeper study with children in Tennessee, and that research project is happening with the Michigan State University. So West Virginia's kids, our Gilmer County kids, are going to be the control group in that research project. And so they will be collecting data from us on our kiddos and their involvement. They'll do a pre and a post survey, and then that's data they'll use in that research project with this team from Italy. So they are coming. The people who came and trained our national folks last summer are actually going to come into Gilmer County, and they want to see it happening. So they'll come spend the day with us on July 11th. They'll pop in. They'll be part of the Joy of Moving. They'll see the other rotations. They're going to eat lunch at the table with our kiddos. I'm so excited. Very cultural experience for them. And then they're going to gather folks. We're working already to get community people to join us and host a family event from 2 to 4 on that July the 11th. The Kinder Joy, I gave you a packet of information. Again, the idea is sometimes our kids want us to tell them every single step to do and play, and this gives them the beginning step, and then it allows them to develop socially and have conversation with a partner or a small group, and they come up with the next step of the game. And then they come up with the third step of the game. So as you look through, you'll see that Joy of Moving encourages physical fitness, motor coordination, cognitive functions, and life skills. And this is vocabulary that we're going to be teaching. We're going to be very intentional in this practice and teaching our students this summer these various components of the Joy of Moving. I currently have 67 students enrolled at the elementary. From what I can see through a shared Excel sheet, it looks like 20 at the high school, but the staff will be in there tomorrow, and I know they're gonna be making a lot of phone calls. So, the children are coming. We're excited, and we would love for you to come and join and be a part of it.
That's great.
Any questions?
So day one is Wednesday, correct?
Day one is Wednesday, yes.
Okay.
Yep, for both elementary, middle school, and high school.
And kids that maybe didn't get signed up, how do they get signed up, or is it still open enrollment?
They can call us. We'll be in the office there tomorrow. Yeah. Some of our groups are rather large. Second grade has 20 right now.
Is that kids going from first to second, or kids leaving second grade?
They have
going to-
completed second grade.
So you have 20 that have completed.
So this is based on last year's enrollment?
This is based on the grade level they have completed. That way our fifth graders are still fifth graders, yeah. And we're gonna develop, I think it's called an advisory council, and so we're gonna give them some leadership experience this summer. They're gonna take on some leadership. Our teachers are not called teachers, they are coaches, which goes great with our Olympic theme. So it's Coach Fox, Coach Chesser, and so we're gonna implement some leadership things for our fifth graders as well.
And you want me to come on?
Yes, Dr. Minnie, we would like for you to be there on the 14th and teach us some square dancing lingo so we can square dance at the Folk Festival Friday.
Well, sure.
I need to come to that. Get back to practice.
You all are welcome to come. I will say the high school, I know credit recovery is a big focus, but I also know this year we have students who've chosen to come for some enrichment.
Calling this morning.
Mr. Fisher is really working on the other side of it, not just credit recovery, but exposure to enrichment.
And that's hard
Middle
to do
school,
at the
high
high
school.
school level, because
Yeah.
you know high school kids.
But he's got some great ideas. They're gonna do some great things at the
Yeah,
high
so
school,
that's-
so.
They're, they're seeking it out.
Yes.
It's gotta
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
Good things in Gilmer.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Righty. We will move on to the consent agenda, and we'll begin with the minutes, and we'll just take these one at a time. So we'll start with the May 18th, 2023 special meeting.
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the May 18th special meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion to that main motion?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries. Alrighty, we'll move on to May 23rd special meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for May 23rd.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the May 23rd special meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Alrighty, we'll move on to May 23rd's regular meeting minutes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Alright, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the May 23rd, 2023 regular meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion of that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Alrighty, we'll move on to May 30th special meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the May 30th special meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstention?
Abstain.
Motion carries. All right, and we'll go on the treasurer's report. Mr. Chester.
Good evening. What I have for you tonight is a schedule of checks to be written and budget supplements and transfers. Are there any questions about the schedule of checks to be written or the budget supplements and transfers?
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the treasurer's report. Is there any further discussion to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Alrighty, we'll move on to new business and start with Senate Bill 461 resolution. Dr. Minnie.
In your package, you should see a resolution for the Gilmer County Board of Education's interim measures adoption of Senate Bill 461 as the current grievance procedure for Gilmer County schools. as a part of the legislative update, the law with the public grievance procedure has changed, and in order to get into compliance and have time to write policies and create a new grievance procedure and do all of the things that are required with 461, it's going to take some time. So with understanding that, I have put together a resolution, and I ran this by Mr. Sufer, just to make sure that when we, from here on out, we want to make sure that we meet the requirements of Senate Bill 461 because they're in code, and they're actively in code from June 9th. So this basically states that the Senate Bill 461, an act to amend the code of West Virginia Code 6C2-6. Basically, this is to recognize as us looking to have an interim measure while we conduct a full review, identify our processes that we feel like we need to put in place. It's a pretty complex grievance procedure. There's new assignments and who's going to do what and how we might go forward to talk about that. But it basically says Gilmer County Board of Education recognizes the changing code but has not yet defined a complete process and policy that the Gilmer County schools will follow in order to meet Senate Bill 461 requirements, whereas the Gilmer County Board of Education will use the requirements of Senate Bill 461 as an interim grievance procedure process for Gilmer County schools in the interim time period as we develop district level policy and new employee grievance procedure. Now therefore be it resolved that the Gilmer County Board of Education affirms to use Senate Bill 461 for public employee grievance procedure as an interim measure while creating a newly revised public employee grievance procedure and policy for Gilmer County schools.
So I make a motion, we accept the resolution.
Second.
Okay, been properly moved and seconded to approve the Senate Bill 461 resolution. Is there any further discussions to the resolution? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Alright. We will move on to letter B, board docs. Dr. Manner.
This is just the first initial discussion that I would like to have with you all about the implementation of board docs. You can see the new paint, and we've got a table coming tomorrow, not tomorrow, Thursday. We are looking at a new system so we can do some, the video could be better quality, focused in on people. Integrating our sound system, also how we participate in meetings together. This is one of those streamlined processes that we feel like would benefit the community greatly and benefit you all greatly. We don't know about which version that we want yet, but I wanted to present a few ideas and what this could do. First of all, it would kind of eradicate the paper-based versions of things. Everything would be posted and online and as an attachment on our website. The packets would be. You would have your own individual executive packets that would go out to you, and there would be different features for different workflows. But one of the main features that we saw was it's searchable. So say we do for example, we looked up a Neola contract today. It took us time to physically go, pull the drawer out, find the Neola, flip through the Neola contract, and look at what we needed. Everything that we put in front of you becomes searchable. We can just literally go in online and type in what we're looking for, and it pops up what we posted. And we can go back and add our minutes and agendas for the last 20 years if we want. We can make everything searchable. It would also, instead of working off packets, we would have devices here at our table, and you would be flowing through the agenda. The agenda items would also be posted up here on the board, and when the vote was taken, it would go down the agenda for the public to see on their site. Lisa, for example, would be taking the minutes during the meeting. Instead of having to take the next day, she'd be actually in real time. There's a point-click system to take the minutes during the meeting, in which we calculated would save 24 work days. And so it's all about streamlining the flow of how things get on the agenda, how things are searchable, what you guys see. You'll be able to pull it right up on your phones and participate. Even the memo agenda, that it will be available on board docs, and we found out that process. So some of the extra things that we create would streamline all these processes. And I've done a little bit of research about the surrounding areas. Most of what I could find, I compared small districts like Doddridge, of course, because they're right beside us and about relatively the same size. Bigger districts, Braxton, Doddridge, I've looked at bigger district, Harrison, lots of districts use this. If you go on their website, you'll be able to see and search out on board docs for their stuff. We currently, through our Neola process, have a piece of it, which is our policies. This will connect all of our meetings, agendas, and our rest of our processes that we interact with each other back and forth. There's 4 different versions. There's the LT, the LT Plus, the Pro, and the Pro Plus. What we have made the decision is that you guys are the only voting entity, so we just need either LT or Pro. We don't need the Plus because we don't have voting committees. So with that being said, we've got some different features and what they offer, and the Plus offers a lot more. You know, it's got a follow me technology. It moderates the moves through the meeting. It's got, you know, you can add sticky notes and private notes to the agenda items. You can track the processes on the strategic plans. You can link your goals and identify each time a goal has an agenda item, so you can see what with your district goals, how much time and commitment that you are putting towards those goals on your agendas, which I thought was really cool.
Sounds like I'm gonna need a personal assistant to use this.
And it's really,
It's really simple.
and I thought so too, and
Sorry.
we've been kind of dreading that, but it's really not bad at all. It automates the minutes, including the votes. You guys can take votes, you can literally vote online. Like say, for instance, you know, you gotta be at the beach. You can vote from the beach securely. It's a one-stop platform to securely vote. It records votes, it does the minutes, it makes a copy of the agenda with the minutes created. It also has duplications. We can build templates, so after we get our processes lined out, we can build templates for the entire year. So like, say for instance, our January meeting, our January 1 meeting and next year will pop up with exactly what we need to do and exactly what's supposed to be on the agenda from year to year. It's got a lot of really high quality function as far as that goes. It also has a library for storage of other documents that we would see pertinent. And they're also searchable, like they are with the policies. You can search anything and it will bring up the exact document. So those are some of the things that archives minutes. It does, of course, we use it for policy, and it publishes this out on our website with all of the documents that are necessary for our agendas on our main website for the public to view and interact with. We can also put public notes for each agenda item, a written blurb about what exactly it is to better inform the public about what we're doing as far as each individual agenda item. So there's a couple different versions. We don't know, we haven't talked about what we would settle on, but I just wanted to give you an update on the cost. The first option is the light option. It doesn't do the minutes, and it doesn't have the library, and it doesn't have, you know, the automated workflows, and it doesn't track the progression on the strategic plan goals, and it doesn't do the follow me technology and things like that. But it does have a lot of functionality with board agendas and the meetings and the agenda memos and things like that. It's $2,700 per year. The other two options we wouldn't consider is the pro options, because we don't need them. The plus options. But the pro option, which would give you all of that data management and kind of coordination, is $11,000 per year. So we considered that to be a lot higher for the functionality, and we don't know exactly what that will look like. But we want to explore it, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it because we've got the new boardroom training facility started. You can see it's painted, it's not orange anymore. We have the new board table almost here. We might do one meeting where we're sitting there without a table because our laminate countertops aren't in yet. And the carpet doesn't come in for another week or so. But other than that, we plan on having a new system of how we conduct the meetings. And I think that it's a valuable service to be able to have a searchable document for anything that you want to look for in a board meeting's history. You can just literally search it and it brings it up. I wanted to put this down as initial conversation discussion for you all to see if you were interested in that. Many of the local counties around us use board docs. And instead of us creating an agenda and posting a personnel agenda, posting an agenda memo and giving it to you in all these different areas, it would all be in one place. And it would be something that would be updated to you. Last week, we had a situation where Lisa was out. I had to post, and I did it, and that's not a problem. I did it. But we could set this to post as on a schedule. It would just be, it's got a lot of functionality to it, if that makes sense.
So if it's a subscription service, a yearly thing, what happens if we choose not to renew? What happens to that data?
That's a good question.
See, I was kind of questioning that too, just the data part of it, because, you know, we're pumping information into it. And, like,
And if the
do we
next
plan to
board or
keep hard
whoever
copies?
decides not
You were
to
talking
renew.
about contracts and stuff. Do we plan to keep the hard copies?
We would keep the hard copies. They would go in personnel files and things like that. We planned on keeping the hard copies. But this makes it searchable. I don't know.
I like the searchable part.
It's
I-
to where you can
As
look
a
back like a
parent, it's
library.
nice to
It's
Well,
a
be-
library
you
of
guys have
information.
access to it, so
Right.
the people that are executive, you guys can go on and look and search these types of things if you have questions in your own mind. We thought that was a valuable tool, to be able, instead of calling somebody and getting in a filing cabinet, pulling these things out, and doing all of that different work, taking the time period out of somebody's day. It's literally logging on and typing in, and it just pulls it right
Well,
out.
I mean, I have to have a separate file cabinet in my office.
Right.
Because
It's a lot of files.
it's getting
is.
overwhelming.
It's a lot of files.
So, I mean, I can
Okay.
see, the benefits there, but,
Yeah.
I would have some questions about.
Now, the question, that is not one that crossed my mind, but I can ask that question. About, we're kind of in the same boat with Neola. We said, what do we do if we don't
Yeah.
want to use you anymore?
Right.
This would be, they don't have access to our public record, I don't think, this would be minutes and things like this. This is actually on their site, and the minutes are up there on their site, and it's
So does it
connected.
just all go away then, if we don't use
I
them
don't know,
anymore?
that's a question I'll ask.
Typically with services like that, you own the data, you just have to transition it to a new service or do whatever you're gonna do with
If
it.
it's there.
And think of like your accounting softwares and things, it's your data, you just have to find a home for it if the service.
I like to
ends.
see a demo of the dashboard maybe up here on like a big screen to see the
Absolutely.
see the usability of
Get a
it.
demo going for you guys?
Yeah, just to see the usability of it.
The,
And then
It's pretty good.
I would like to know if any of their data has ever been held for ransom. Because there's a lot of these data collections that do this for courthouses and churches and all kinds of stuff.
They hack in and then.
then they hack it in and hold it for ransom. I would hate to see our Board of Education, but it happens to government entities all the time. Their information is
well, would
held for
only
ransom.
public access information be posted on that, or would
There's-
personnel information be on that as well?
Yeah.
I think that's a valid point.
We talked about the personnel, and that's only with the one pro. And honestly, it doesn't seem feasible to put all the personnel information on there. This is only information like, for example, I keep on going back to the Neola contract, because we dealt with it today, but that would be one thing that you guys would have to approve during a board meeting, whether or not we were going. That would have been on there as an attachment to that agenda item, an action item. You voted yes or no to approve that or not. That would be on there as a public contract. The public would be able to see that contract if
Well,
you
and-
posted that contract.
And I
on.
think about it more as a parent than as a board member, because as a parent, it would be nice to have the searchability function of it. If, you know, you're looking into something or you want to know something, that you can go to the website, because it's almost impossible to get that information now. You could go in and search it, but, you know, I guess it just depends, the big price difference and the added benefits from the 2,000 something to 11,000, if that's
Well,
gonna be a
we
huge
thought the same
benefit.
thing. We thought the
Yeah.
same thing. The 2,000, we could see probably, the light version probably doable. The one thing though was, one of the selling points was the automated, motion and including votes and meeting. There's a meeting control panel, and you are completely finished with the meeting minutes and everything from a tablet station during the meeting. So instead of going back and spending another day typing minutes and putting things together and posting things, it's literally done and you just
So
click a check
that's,
mark.
I mean, so that's more something you all would have to decide, because that's more of a clerical thing rather
It is.
than a benefit to the public thing.
Right.
So, you know, as a parent, that doesn't do anything for
But
me.
the library is only available in that pro version, the searchable library.
Yeah.
So the public viewing of those types of things would only be, right, Lisa, that's what he said,
So they couldn't,
not with the light version.
so they can't go in and like search for a topic or whatever, say dress code, and it come up with what meetings that was discussed, or,
Only if you voted on it. From what I understand, if it was an action item with an attachment on an agenda, they could still search for that and see it, but if there was any kind of information about it, it was stored in the library, they would be able to see it.
Right. Like if you had a copy of the handbook or something like that, that was in the library, that was approved every year. You know,
Yeah.
there's just different things like that there was just different features like that.
I think it's
But the light version does a lot.
Good enough
It
to-
really does.
get a follow-up on a little bit of a presentation on both, and
Another thing that the light version didn't do were the templates. Like, we thought that would be valuable. You could literally schedule out your entire year's worth of agenda items and everything at once in the summer, and schedule them to go out certain days and just let it go as templates. And the other one doesn't do that. The light version doesn't do that. You have to, there's a different process, so. But I just, demo, if you guys would like to see, I can work on that and see what you guys think about it, but ask those few questions. Any other questions you can think of? I've got data, ransom, minutes and data, what happens to it if we decide not to go with them, and then demo. Is that a good start?
yeah.
And if you got other questions.
Well, I was gonna say, I'll make a motion to allow Dr. Minnie to set up a demo at a future, Board of Education meeting, and to get the answer to the board's questions and report back at the same meeting that the demo occurs.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, we'll move into personnel. Dr. Minnie.
Under professional, we got Corey Phillips being recommended itinerant special education ALC teacher, and Brandon Payne, the resignation of Director of Student Support Services effective 6/30/23.
Go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the professional section of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the professional section of the personnel agenda. Is there any further discussion to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries.
It's kind of a tongue twister.
It is. Okay, we'll move on to service, Dr. Minnie.
Recommend Frank Postaway probationary contract renewal 23-24 custodian GCHS, and Randy Poling probationary contract renewal 23-24 school year for custodian at GCHS.
Make a motion to approve the service portion of the personnel list.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the service portion of the personnel list. Is there any further discussion to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Move on to extracurricular.
Extracurricular, make the recommendation to accept Austin Ratliff's resignation, auxiliary mini Titan football coach, effective 5/23 of '23, and Benton Huffman, resignation head mini Titan boys basketball coach, effective 6/12 of '23.
Make a motion to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel list.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel list. Is there any further discussion of that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. We'll move on to permission to post.
Just permission to post classroom transportation aides, first grade, 3 positions for Gilmer County Elementary School, and then an itinerant summer custodian.
Make a motion to approve the permission to post portion of the personnel list.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the permission to post portion of the personnel list. Is there any further discussion to that main motion? Hearing none, maybe a tongue twister.
I feel like I'm picking a peck of pickled peppers here.
Alrighty, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any abstention? Any opposed? Motion carries. Alrighty, we will move into continuous improvement.
This is just an update on the animal processing classroom. So we've got a couple weeks planned out here. We did finally get the grease trap in. We are above ground on the project. The grease trap and tank has been installed. All underground plumbing is completed. We've rough cut in a new garage door. That's completed. The next 2 weeks, we've got planned out to pour the footers Thursday, June 8th, pour the floor Tuesday, June 13th, demo old garage door, frame up a new garage door, pour exterior concrete, and the masons to start on the block wall. In order to get some of that plumbing completed, we had to take out some of the sidewalk and in-between area of the buildings there between the science wing and the vocational wing. And we have opted to work with the company to put together a price to put rock in that area instead of the grass and different things, because we figured they'd be unloading carcasses and different things right there, and the concrete that back. We've got that going on. There is another couple little things that will be some additional costs. We had a severe gas leak that we had that was coming up into the electrical closet. They're going to give us a price on how to fix that gas leak across to the greenhouse. That's the gas to the greenhouse. So we're trying to work with the company to go ahead and do that at the same time, and a couple other little things. But they're above ground. They're making a lot of progress now, and we're hopeful that the projects that we had, some of them on hold, like the window armor and things, can now continue, and we should be seeing some major progress. I'm going to try to get up there and take some pictures and post with our Project Connect folks in the next week or so.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
That's all I got. I got Mrs. Butcher. She's going to share some data with you about a survey that has been conducted at the high school.
So what I have for you is I did a little exit survey for myself. Remember, I told you back in March, the first day that I met with teachers, I asked them, what are the 3 most important things they felt that I needed to address? One was morale, one was communication, and one was discipline. And so I didn't have a formalized survey, but I asked for a written survey back in March. I wanted to have immediate response after I met with them. So I did just a very brief little survey so you could see. I think that we've made some inroads in, where your money was going to as far as paying me. But you see that we had 40 responses. And this went out to all teachers, staff, everybody. And so since March the 6th, you see that what the numbers are for communication. Do you believe that staff morale has improved? Did you believe that merging homeroom into first period has been beneficial? Notice that 10 people didn't have a homeroom that responded, and that is a combination between staff and faculty, so that's why that's, you know, the blue part isn't as predominant as what I would like for it to be. You say, do you believe you have a voice in the school? Has school climate improved? Did you like Chalk Talk? And did you like the brief? And I would also send them a brief email. If I attended a board meeting, I'd send them a very brief email so that they could see what the board decided to do as it related to Gilmer County High School and overall the county in general, just very brief, to keep them in the loop of everything that was going on. Then number 8, numbers 8 and 9 were open response questions. What, number 8, do you believe are the needed areas that the new principal should immediately focus upon? And these are direct from the survey itself. And then on number 9, I just had an open-ended opportunity for them to share any kind of thought they wanted to share. And so you have feedback as to what was done. I have always believed that, and was taught early on, that mastery in a classroom was that if you get 80% of the students performing at 80%, 80 at 80, I always felt pretty good. I think that we have performed very well. I'm very satisfied with the results. I knew that I wasn't going to reach all of 100%, but I certainly did try to get 100%. And so I'm okay with the responses here and the percentages that we got. I think we've made some good inroads on things. I will tell you that as far as the overall discipline is concerned, that in comparison with the numbers from the previous year, discipline dropped by 200 referrals from the previous year to this year. And since March the 6th, we had only 90 disciplinary referrals. That's hard and fast data that I can go right to and show you. That was when we asked teachers to make contact with parents and to take command of their own room a little bit more. Anytime you send somebody to the office as a teacher, you are really giving up a little bit of your own classroom authority by doing so. I want them to retain as much as they possibly can. I'm not going to have a student stand in the way of a teacher not being able to deliver what needs to be delivered. And I think really, honestly, that has worked very well for us. I've made some recommendations on professional development, further professional development on management, but I will tell you that Mr. Haynes has done an excellent job in working with teachers on classroom management. He really has. He knows the APL strategies, and he's done a great job with it. So I am just about finished up. I have one report left to do, and that's the CTE report. Today I filed a petition requesting incorrigibility on a student that was about a 25-page document. And I hate to do it, but it needed to be done. It's just part of the job. And I've agonized and agonized and agonized over it, and I know that it's the right thing to do. Long term, I know that it's the right thing to do. So I just have a few more things, and I'm going to be finished, and I'll turn the keys over, and I'm going to go back into a nice private life, and I'm going to enjoy that part. So
Well,
I
we
wanted
will
to
miss
thank
you.
you. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
I did enjoy it. I will tell you, I was energized by teachers. I was energized by students. And I know that God put you where He wants you, and it was never meant for me to be any other place than in a school, because that is where all the activity is. That's where the fun is. That is the center of the universe as far as I'm concerned. But I will tell you that I am very, very pleased with the quality of instruction that's taking place at the high school, and I think you have some very, very qualified individuals there that are giving it everything that they've got. I really do believe that. And I think we have some really good students too. I'm impressed particularly with that 8th grade group, rising 9th graders. Those kids know their school.
Good.
I was very impressed with that group. I really was. And I just think that it was a great experience. It was great for me. I've made a lot of new friends with teachers. I see a lot of students out. Hey, Ms. Butcher, I've gotten lots of good feedback from kiddos who have said that they felt as though that the fourth 9 weeks was a little more relaxed but engaging, and we had lots of good activities. So I think all in all, it was a good gig for me, and I want to thank you very much for giving me that opportunity. Thank you.
Well, thank you for doing it.
I think if you looked at the data about what she put out there, that you can see there's a vast improvement as far as faculty says. So we really appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, we're done in continuous improvement. We'll move on to superintendent's update.
So one of the things that I wanted to update everybody on was, and I put this in your packet, and I know this is a very, very long, lengthy Bowles Rice update, but there is a lot of stuff that came out of this legislative session. If you get a chance to read, there is so many different requirements that we're trying to still muddle through and make sure that we meet all of those requirements. We got PEIA, we've got probably more sessions coming open so they can fund the things that they had in last session. But you'll notice that, you know, Senate Bill 268 relating to PEIA, you'll see some big type of changes in here. You'll see Senate Bill 461 in there that's very, very big type of things related to the grievance processes and so on and so forth. There's a couple pages in there just for that. Bowles Rice is in particular, I'm sure that they're worried about that situation. That's why I did the resolution today, to make sure that we are up to date on everything that we need to be up to date on as far as if we get ourselves in a situation as a grievance. There are just a lot of different things. If you get a chance to read through those, if you got any questions, let me know. We are working with those updates. We'll be working with Neola to try to make sure that our updates to our policies all reflect. What a better time to have Neola than to have, there's 40-some pages of legislative update there.
It was disheartening.
It's very, very complex. So what a good year to get Neola, because that's a lot of legislative updates.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance to read, if you got any questions, let me know. But as far as upcoming, the next few weeks, I'm going to personally be out. I will be back for the next meeting. We're going to try to get everybody hired and ready to go for the next year. We do have a board retreat that we're trying to toss back and forth dates to make sure that everybody is going to be available. But we'd like for you to come to that so we can get an idea of putting the information out, maybe get Project Connect folks there, pushing the information out, rolling out our new mission, our new strategic plan that's updated and approved by the state, making sure everybody's on the same page, everybody working on the same goals as we move forward. I think that we're very close to, going, and we're seeing some cultural improvement. We're seeing some test score improvement. We're seeing some curriculum improvement. We're seeing improvement across the board, just to make sure everybody stays on the same page and so forth before the start of the new year. That's all I've got.
Alrighty, we'll move into board member comments. Any comment, any board member?
Nasha, I just want to say thank you for your positivity and just, overwhelming character just was very welcomed, and I thank you so much for stepping in and helping out the county. And just with that, Gilmer County School Systems, I've heard a lot of whispers since the end of the semester that we're going to be getting some transplant students moving in, that people are talking about Gilmer County schools, and it is positive, and we are moving forward. So
We're the best.
yeah, we're the best. So I just throwing that out there. I've heard a lot of whispers that, like I say.
We had 5 transfer in the high school last week.
Great.
See, yeah.
I have final update from the WVU Gilmer County Extension Service. Gilmer 4-H camp registration will close on Wednesday, June 14th at midnight. If you've not registered already, this is your last chance to do so. So please contact the Extension Service office or you can go to their WVU Gilmer County Extension Service Facebook page and follow the link. And Nasia, I would like to say thank you for all your hard work. It was a big ask, and I'm very thankful that you took it on, and I think things turned out great.
I think so too. I think
Yeah.
we had a good 9 weeks.
Yeah.
I would also like to thank you for everything you're doing with the summer school academy and everything.
yes.
A lot of 67 students coming, and my son's in that second grade class.
That's a big
where-
ask, too.
where I think you said 20 kids are going out of that class, and it's just, I don't know, it's good to see us that we're supporting the kids here in this county.
And you reminded me to text my son to do his iReady lesson. Have it done when I get home.
Or else.
Anyone else?
We have a Calhoun Gilmer Career Center meeting tomorrow, so we'll have an update at the next meeting. And again, thank you, Nasia, very much for your service. And Aaron is looking very forward to Wednesday. So this will be a good time.
I just wanted to say one more thing. Our Project Connect folks, you've been seeing them. We're starting to get our stuff in the newspaper. You can see it posted online. You're going to see a lot of positivity. I don't know if you guys can tell
Yeah.
a difference online.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Our
Yeah.
I really
community
like the
connection
Project
has
Connect.
really picked up, and
Mhm.
I wanted to just highlight those folks and the work they're doing, because it is, I've gotten nothing but positive comments about those folks and their work.
It's super nice. A lot of my older patients have talked about it, because they like to be involved and like to, you know, they can't necessarily get out of their house, but they can see what the kids are doing on Facebook, and that kind of makes them happy, so it's a good thing.
I guess I'll finish up. I'm just trying to find the date, and it's mistaken me. But Leading Creek, we had our last governance meeting over there, and I mean, everything was positive. It was a quick gag. It was only a total of a 10-minute meeting. Lewis County Superintendent retired, so they will have a new superintendent. And at the beginning of the new school year, we'll have that meeting commence and elect new officers and things for that. And so that was positive. And then just like everybody else has said, you know, thank you, Mrs. Butcher, for everything you've done at the high school. And thank you, Mrs. West, for your current work with the summer school program. All right.
That's right.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All righty, is there a second?
Second.
We probably moved and seconded that we adjourn the meeting. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.